We are live with some Temur Prowess. It's been a couple weeks since we streamed last. Some life stuff, Father's Day, family stuff came up. So, as far as a small channel update, I may have mentioned it in one of the videos that's been pre-recorded. I don't know if it's been posted yet or not. We are moving away from mana traders and playing all kinds of decks. Now, I've enjoyed playing, the top tier decks of the format. I've enjoyed, playing Jund, playing all these different decks. But a couple of factors have just really kind of clicked in here. Number one, as one gets older and life happens, time is a little bit more of a premium, so I don't have as much time to put into this as I would need to consistently play all these different decks. The reality is I'm not a young dingo, I'm not a Doomlake, I'm not a aspiring spike. I don't have all the time in the world to brew decks or try out new things. I'm kind of limited in terms of how much time I can pay attention to the meta and whatnot, and also the fact that there's no focus of the channel, really. We were doing deck guides and Jund and this, that, and the other thing, and it's all kind of fallen apart whenever I don't have a ton of time to continue doing, thing after thing after thing. So, MTG Next has read the Burn channel, has had its focus for quite a while. Pioneer will continue to dabble in different things, mostly because I have most of the cards of Explore. What's up, Secret Nay? How are you doing? But this channel is going to focus, I think, more on the Prowess variants, Temur and Gruul, as I now have the cards for all of those decks online. So those are kind of be the focus going forward. I might do like deck overviews and stuff. I might do top decks of the format and whatnot. But as far as the gameplay, it's going to be focused around Gruul and Temur Prowess for the time being, just because I have set my Mana Traders account aside for the time being, and these are the decks I got. So those of you that are joined that were Jund fans, I apologize. Those of you that are just modern fans and want to continue watching the channel, greatly appreciate that. But that said, I think it was time to narrow down and focus on a couple decks. Temur Prowess really kind of came back into the forefront with the printing of Slick Shot Show Off in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It's been one of the top performing decks for some time. Didn't get a ton out of MH3. I've noticed some of the newer ones. This is a little bit of a newer build that I'm going to be trying. Playing Galvanic, Discharge, and Amped Raptor. What's up, Cathartic Cards? How are you? But we're going to be trying out Galvanic, Discharge, and Amped Raptor. I tried it in Gruul. A version that hasn't popped up on the channel yet, but I did try. I was really unimpressed by Unstable Amulet, but Amped Raptor and Galvanic Discharge were both fine. So I think trying them out in the Temur shell is good. The reason I like the Temur deck is just the consistency. 4 preordained, 4 expressive iteration, in addition to the 4 baubles. You're just finding your threats more consistently. You're finding the cards in your post-board configurations more consistently. I'm just kind of happy with that overall. DRC, Monastery Swiss Bureau are 1 drops, Amped Raptor Slick Shot are 2 drops, and then obviously 2 copies of Underworld Breach is kind of our mid-range bridge card, or just way to finish the game off with a bunch of bolts to your opponent's face. Mishra's Bauble obviously plays well with all of your Prowess threats and your Dragon Rage's Channelers, and then Fetch Land Mana Base, 2 Steam Vents, 1 Stomping Ground, 1 Thundering Falls, and a bunch of Mountains. Sideboard. This list, I believe, is taken from Nahuel, who does quite a bit of Temur Prowess. 3 Tormod's Crypts. There's just decks floating around. I mean, whether it be Groya's decks, whether it just be Snapcaster Mage decks, whether it be, the Psychic Frog, Chakothian Nightmare decks. Tormod's Crypt's just fine. Pick Your Poison's kind of become a staple with, the Domain Scion decks, but those are kind of falling off, but this is still a fairly reasonable card in a lot of the format. 3 Harsh Mentor, this is primarily aimed squarely at Nadu. Nadu is an annoying deck to play against, especially if you don't have this or something like Tunnel Ingus in your sideboard as a red deck. 3 Blood Moons, Eldrazi decks are a thing. Other decks this can punish, and then 2 copies of Meltdown against anything artifact based, and then obviously you get to play Giganta as a companion. So, said we're going to hop into a league and hope we can finish the league off, or at least get fairly reasonably along before the rough weather is supposed to hit this area. So, hope everyone's doing well. Seeker Nair, Cathartic Cards. Apologies for no streams the last couple weeks. The one week I was at my brother's for the weekend and then went to my parents' just for different family stuff. And then last weekend, obviously being Father's Day, I took some time to spend with my dad. So apologies that we haven't had streams for a couple weeks, but hopefully we'll get back on the saddle here. Obviously you want to be on the play. Our opponent will also have a companion. And it's a Giganthamir. Alright. No real plays on 1. This is one of the disadvantages of these Amped Raptor builds. You do have less 1-drops in situations where you need to be straight up racing. We'll go ahead and fetch Thundering Falls. Don't think I mind having another Amped Raptor. Just gonna plot a Slick Shot and pass. Okay, so we're probably up against Boros Energy would be my guess. Yep. Should be an interesting... In for a bunch of damage. Hope we don't get Philogied next turn. Okay, there's Arena of Glory. Monkey time. Okay. Yep. Wow. That's brutal as heck. Mm-hmm. Don't know that. I can come back from that particular insanity, but we'll try. One, two, three, four, five. Requires what? 6? Nope, 5. Mm-hmm. Kill the cat. Boom. Kill the cat. Okay. Too many 2-for-1s. Okay, go to 6. Now we get to bring back Falagi. Okay, gotta be prepared for Monkey. Are there any broken cards besides Nadu? Falagi is pretty dumb. Chakothian Nightmare, Psychic Frog. So there's quite a few. The new Ugin's Labyrinth is pretty good. So there's a lot of I don't know that they've warped the format, but they've definitely made it trickier. There's a new Wrath that's energy based. So it's not so much Nadu. I don't even know that Nadu has warped the format. I would say if there were cards that warped the format, it would be Nadu, Ral, and Ruby Medallion. Because I do think the two most impactful decks that have come out of MH3 so far are the Nadu Piles and the Ruby Storm. And then followed somewhat closely by... Thanks, Mode Enjoyer. Followed by the Ugin's Labyrinth, making Eldrazi relevant somewhat. So this will put us to 1. Then I presume my opponent intends on dashing Ragavan, trying to kill us here. I mean, Bolt kills us. I'm honestly surprised they just haven't brought him back. So if I had one more mana, I would love to play this DRC before playing this combo out, but I think we have to try to go for the math kill here. I'm not sure it's going to work, but... I just punted. Oh. And we had it too. Oh. Yep. Oh, I'm not. I'm just literally laughing at the... mistake. So 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we would have been one short anyway, but too short, I mean. Alright, so I have not played this matchup, so I don't think we bring in Blood Moon, despite their mana base being somewhat shaky. I don't think Pick Your Poison is necessary. Think of anything, we bring in the Tormod's Crypts and go down Lava Darts kills a okay amount of stuff in their deck. So maybe it's just like Bobble, Preordain, Preordain. I just don't think we can beat Philagi being escaped over and over again, so... Alright, I guess I'd like to play first. This hand has probably one more land than we'd like, but we'll keep it. Problem in this matchup is just they have so much removal, just like we have so much removal, that the attrition game really kind of kicks in. So... see what they do with their... Just killing it immediately. Seems about right. I think we have to plot this. I think next turn going land, Amped Raptor, Bolt. Yeah, that's a key card, sure. I think I'm fine playing that one next turn. Sure. If there was ever a card I would be glad just disappeared from the format, it would be Ragathan and Leonin Arbiter. Yeah, I don't know how good it is in Prowess, but I think in the more mid-range cells it's pretty good. I just resolutely hate the card Leonin Arbiter. I played against it last night with Gruul Prowess, recording some future video stuff, and I played against a deck that had Leonin Arbiter, Ghost Quarter, the new Tectonic Edge pseudo card, the new Phantom blow up lands thing. It does see a little bit of play because Death and Taxes got some new toys, so some people are inevitably trying it. So it doesn't see much play. It's just I'm reminded every time I play against it why I hate the card. Oh, I didn't even think it's going to see any consistent play whatsoever. I played against it last night, and it reminded me that of all the cards I think I hate to play that one against the most, just as a single standalone card. Oh no, I very much understand how to play against it. I just hate it. I don't know what's going on with our opponent over there. I don't know if they're double queuing or what's going on. Oh no, I understand what was annoying about it is when you play against Ether Vial, they can vial it in when you're tap low and just get you. Only so much you can do about it. So I'm not going to play Slick Shot into so much open mana, and I'm just looking for an answer for Ragavan next turn. And it's not like our opponent can do much about Underworld Breach other than if they have Graveyard Hate. So... Alright, I apologize. I'll be right back. Gotta go get something for another. Swift Spear EI. There you go. Question is, do I want both of these or just one? I think we bottom Swizzle Spear for now. Top EI. Cast EI. All right. You know, this kind of... I understand sometimes double queuing happens, especially if you're a content creator, but... Ragavan's going to get to hit us again, so we probably lose. Opponent even gets to see the card that they're hitting off of with Ragavan. Dashing Ragavan is such an annoying card. Here it comes, the stupid monkey. Its death was overrated. Oh, stupid monkey, stupid monkey. Alright. They get another Mistress Bauble. Sure. Legacy had its own problems. I really haven't paid much attention to Legacy since MH3, but Legacy has its own problems with Reanimator decks, etc. Play that and pass. And it's not that Modern so far isn't been healthy. Like, it was healthy before MH3. And I think so far in MH3, there's been a reasonable balance. Now, it's kind of hard to say because this weekend's results have all been unavailable simply because I have a reason the site's down. Yep. I choose not to cast Static Prison. I'm going to have to do that before the trigger resolves. No, Foz, I'm definitely not the guy that ordered all the hot weather. Cast Amped Raptor, but we do not get the... Don't really like playing Underworld Breach here, but we're going to get a Value Breach just to deal with this... You brought more. Yeah, just pass here. Let Breach die. Okay, there's Johnny. We'll go to 9. And yep. It's amazing how quickly our opponent can play whenever their clock's down to 5 minutes. Alright. Presume they have some type of removal spell for this, but we gotta go for it. Okay. We know one of their cards in hand is a Ragavan. Is it? Or did I kill? I might have killed that Ragavan. Oh well. Shocker, they had the removal spell. I mean, yeah, we could have taken the value play, bolted each of their creatures, tried to draw a couple of cards. But we're losing to Flage, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. A lot of these Flage mid-range decks just feel like terrible matchups for Prowess. But Modern Enjoyer, I'm guessing. I don't know. Back to your point. Yeah, it does suck to lose to. Oh, we wouldn't have won by time. We were down a game, and Flage, whatever, would have won the game for them. So. Turn one. So. Grab. We could have stalled, but Flage would have gotten there. No mincing words. So. Yep, good old Bowmasters. Alright, so... just go ahead and kill this main phase. If they have another one, more power to them, I guess. Definitely putting that in the graveyard. Okay, so they're the Necro Dominance burn deck, it looks like. Moto. Yeah, Moto. Or some people refer to it as MTGO. This is going to be a tricky matchup to win. No, Burn doesn't play Necro Dominance. There's a black mid-range deck that runs Necro Dominance, the One Ring, Shoulder It, and then runs 4 Soul Spike in their deck. What's up, Augie? How you doing? Burn is... they're actually... okay. Obviously risky if they have another Bowmaster, but my opponent concedes the game. Alright, so let's take a look at the list that they're running. Necro Dominance. Up against... Okay, they have no recent finishes with the deck. But basically this is what we're up against. Orcish Bowmaster's Grief Shouldered, Profane Tutor this, Malakir Rebirth, March of Other... So we're basically up against Mono Black midrange with 4 Necrodominance, 4 One Ring, and 4 Soul Spike to bleed off of cards they draw from Necrodominance and the One Ring. And then March of Otherworldly Sorrows, Shouldered to give them life. And then they're probably most likely... They could bring in Dothy, but the card they're probably most likely going to bring in is the additional March of Otherworldly Sorrows and Engineered Explosives. Their land base is mostly swamps, so Blood Moon doesn't do much. They're not really... I mean, Tormod's Crypt might get Grief Scam if we get past turn 1, but... I mean, and we could try to bring in Pick Your Poison, but honestly, I think our best bet is just submit our starting 60 and try to run them down. I don't know if this is the evolution of that, or if it's the evolution of Cofferless Coffers. Augie, what I mentioned at the beginning of the stream was because of time being such of an essence with so many, with family stuff and work being more time consuming and such, I'm actually stepping away from Mana Traders for a while, just simply because I'm not getting enough bang for my buck time-wise. So I'm not going to be playing with any of the new MH3 cards that are not in Prowess for right now, basically. I'm going to focus more on Burn and Prowess for the modern channels and just kind of go from there. So I'm gonna spin the wheel with Amped Raptor here. See if we hit another removal spell or something. That's fine. Gonna play this. Not going to crack it. Just going to do this. The one weekend I did have time, or the one time I did have time, Mana Traders didn't have the new cards yet, even though it had been out for a couple days. And I just kind of decided from there, since I was already starting a transition to doing this, just to save on the Mana Traders costs every month and to focus down on a couple of decks that were cheaper than Jund and were probably more reliable than Jund. So, it's just simply, unfortunately, practicality. Especially since I'm not a full-time Magic streamer. I'm probably 8 to 10 hours a week for between the 3 channels. So, just makes more sense to focus on a couple of decks in Modern and kind of go from there. I see. Guess I should have blocked there. Well, I could justify the expense if I did more with it. Like, so I've been streaming and doing content for on and off for 7 to 8 years now. And there have been times where I've put in 15 to 20 hours a week and I was, getting enough, had enough traction with the stream, had enough traction with, that kind of stuff, that it was worth my time and money. But now that I'm in this weird spot where, not weird spot, but I'm now, unlike when I started streaming, I'm married, my parents are getting older, there's a lot of stuff going on, family stuff going through, and I just don't have the same drive to play for the same reasons. Like, I enjoy playing Magic for fun now. Like, don't get me wrong, I like winning, but I have no real aspirations for the Pro Tour or traveling or any of that kind of stuff anymore. So it really just doesn't make sense to go full bore. Like, I've not gotten rid of my Mana Traders account. I've put it on the long-term vacation. So I'm paying, I think it's like 1/5 the value to maintain the ability to use cards whenever I so choose. So it's not like I can't flip a switch if I get time or vacation or that kind of stuff. And I wonder if they're going to shoulder it here or are they going to grief. They're going to Necrodom. Okay. Pass. Now, if they untap and shouldered here, the game's over. We're not beating shouldered plus Electrodominance. It's just not happening. Or Necrodominance. Okay. I'm not even sure why you would bring in Disruptor Flute, but sure. I think we put that in the graveyard for now. Curious what they even name. The World Breach. Probably a good name. Okay. Yeah, that literally does nothing. Flare Malice, sure. So Swift Spear, AI, land, play land, get basic, do this. Our opponent to 3. Yeah, that's pretty well freaking game. Yeah. So we are looking for... Okay, do that. For bolts. These are not the cards we were looking for. Alright. As long as they didn't have Soul Spike, we had the chance there. So. Now we have to try to win game 3? Oh no. I was like, we won the match. I was like, I thought that was... We won the match. Never mind. That was slightly terrifying. Yeah, I would have found a way to beat those Flage mid-range decks. That'd be great. I suspect that the Lucky 4-1 black shirt, hopefully, those Flage mid-range decks are going to be tricky. So, I guess I would like to play first. Hand seems pretty solid. Just going to lead on Steam Vents and DRC. Hope we on top with it. Best way to defeat Flage is to play Flage. Yeah, it's a little too pricey at the moment. It was up to 60 some ticks. I think it's now down to like 40 some ticks. We playing the mirror match? Indeed we are. Okay. We're playing a mirror match. We don't know what band of whatchamacallit we're playing against. Okay, we're playing against the Gruul version, got it. So we don't want to take any game actions. Some of the Gruul versions play Unholy Heat. So we don't want to make any game movements on the risk of getting absolutely blown out. I think we just let that go. Nadu for Infect. That is absolutely terrifying. I did watch somebody attempt to use it in... basically because it's in every freaking mid-range deck that exists right now. It's in Just Got Control, it's in Boros mid-range, it's in... That's terrifying. Mm-hmm. Put it with all the value plays. A second Slick Shot show off. That's absolutely nightmarish. That to hand. That. Yeah, it's been played in some of the burn lists. If our opponent has Breach or any type of value card here, we're just going to die this turn. So, I took a gamble with Swift Spear there, or with Expressive Iteration, and whiffed, so... Scary part is we have really nothing for the matchup. I mean, we could bring in Tormod's Crypts, Pick Your Poisons. Yeah. Pretty sure we're dead here. Bolt face, go to 9. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we definitely want the Tormod's Crypts in. Two of those, and a lot of dart's okay, but it doesn't kill a ton of stuff. Pick your poison is tempting, but there is a possibility our opponent might bring in Blood Moon against us. Just because of we're on blue. It's unlikely, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've ever seen somebody do. If we see Unstable Amulet in game 2, I have more of a reason to bring in Pick Your Poison to knock out, Unstable Amulet, Slick Shot Show Off, DRC if it's fully powered. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Augie. I've seen a couple of lists with like 2 of in the 3rd in the sideboard. I've seen some with 2 in the sideboard, 2 in the main, 1 in the sideboard. Hey, looks like a great Yu-Gi-Oh hand. Yeah, we'll risk it. Raptor is a great card, but we really need land drops. Just gonna leave a Bolton or Galvanic Discharge in Lava Dart. I honestly think it's gonna end up being, despite the fact that it's counterintuitive to everything the deck is built for, I honestly think it's going to be a little bit more powerful in the Boros Burn Prowess hybrid that Poseidon's been working on, just because of the ability to put so many resources in the graveyard. So Stable Amulet, sure. It's notable that our opponent does have mutagenic growth in their list. Not all the lists are running muta. So yeah. Stable Amulet, no Unstable Amulet. Cast Unstable Amulet. Okay, there's a Swift Spear. I'm honestly surprised they're not casting Slickshot yet. So we'll give them an opening to get Slickshot in for some damage. But unless they have a free spell in their hand, they're not going to do much here. Well, free spell in their hand or free spell off of Unstable Amulet. So I am taking a gamble by not playing this Tormod's Crypt out preemptively to deal with oh, good grief. Wow. Oh, 4 Unstable Amulets. And so we're just dead. When your bolts each deal 7. I'll be back in 1 second.
I wasn't doing that. I was literally clearing the bed so I could start to clean out the blood.
Markers. Bible.
All of my highlighters.
Nice.
I bet you a week ago you wouldn't have thought to get that low that quick, huh?
No. All right. Yeah. You know, part of me really wonders the strength of those unstable amulets in Gruul, but displays like that, they seem really good in kind of a grindy, attrition-y, like, mid-range game. So, would have been great for Meltdown. Yeah, I suppose it would have been. Tempting hand, but I think it's a trap. On the draw, is that change? I'll try it. Opponent is aggressively mulliganing, so I'm presuming Eldrazi. Nope, maybe Rhino's Living End. I'm gonna guess Living End, but could be Nadu too, I suppose. Jog. Looks like more Yogg. Bowmasters. Yep, seems about right. Land, please. Okay, we got a land. So I'm gonna go Swift Spear, Lava Dart, the Orcish B-Man. So if we are up against Yawgmoth, which it seems most likely we are, you want to kind of manage their fodder for Chord of Calling. That one's kind of annoying, but also whatever. DRC. Trigger me this, Batman. I think I am perfectly fine putting a do they draw land? No, they're drawing another Young Wolfie. It does nothing. Looks like they're still trying to build towards Cord, would be my guess. Mm-hmm. I think our goal is just to get them dead as soon as possible. Currently they can cord for 1, which doesn't concern me at all. I will keep a land on top. Okay. And the graveyard. It's a tough one. So keep Slick Shot, put that back, exile that. Just want to maximize pressure on their life total. Opponent has no good blocks because of the Lava Dart in their graveyard. So. One, two, three, four, five, six. So the max they can cord for is 3. So Cauldrons, whatever. I don't care about that. Okay, Slick Shots. This should be a concession, but apparently not. Alright, so we probably want the Harsh Mentors. Blood Moons, maybe. Tormod's Crypts, maybe. Problem is, what part of our deck's actually bad against them? DRC isn't great against before it can get whatchamacallit. Plus, they also probably have some number of endurances coming in. So maybe it's shave on DRCs. Amped Raptor is fine, but I don't know that we really want to get into a slog with them. Go down the Preordained, maybe? Say it has no pressure. couple of early removal spells, just doesn't feel good enough. This hand isn't a lot better, but I think we'll keep it put back. Stomping Ground. Turn 1, Young Wolf. Couldn't care less about that one. So we'll just pass. I'm going to probably fetch the blue-red Scry land, but we might find that we might want to bolt something here. Yeah, these are the kind of openers that are just really hard to come back from. I think we bottomed that one. I think we just go for kind of the quasi-Hail Mary here. Yeah, pick your poison, more power to them. But they just have too fast of a start. And then Wall of Roots. Patra. So we can court for Yawg, right? One, two. Yeah, I can court for Yawg. So just go to combat, see what they do. Of course, I'm playing around Chord and they could not even have it here. But nope, they got Chord, they got the infinite combo, so. We could try to fight through this, but the game's over. Even if we kill Yawg in response here, they could draw like 4 or 5 cards, just to find Yawg again and go from there. I mean, we could have tried to mulligan to 5 to find an even more aggressive start, but yeah, this hand is pretty decent. The one thing about Prowess is Prowess does a much better job of playing the tempo burn game than even Burn does, but at the cost of being more vulnerable to actual removal spells, board presence, that kind of stuff. So Interesting to see what our opponent leads off on. Obviously, if they have Yawgmoth, we just kind of... Halfling, however, is a delightful target for us. Not playing the fetch land, I want to try to maximize my ability to it's like burn with extra steps. What? Show library for a card, put in your river and shuffle, turn up to 2. That's a card. Gonna give them the opportunity to block first. We know they're not going to, so. Nice thing here is they can't get us with a Sure. Okay, Amped Raptor, see what we hit first. Sure. The opponent doesn't block with anything, they are dead. No, I guess they would go to 1. Well, if they don't block... I think we just let this happen. Did miss a point of damage, but I do think I want to get a little bit more gas in the tank. Alright, Shouldered's a terrifying card. Land is not exactly what we wanted here. Okay, so they're going to jam Shouldered, put us to... put themselves to 5. That bumps it to that. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? Yeah, Dart Face times 2 would have been a win. Well, crap. Oh well. Punt. Yeah. They have a second Shouldered? Or is this Yawg? Lively Dirge. This is basically Yawg. Or basically Shouldered coming back. So I kept a very bad card on top. Mm-hmm. That's not a terrible one. Alright, well... Missed the lethal to the face line, so... Yay. Alright, we're definitely keeping the... Oh, I know, but that's like the second punt I've done this league, so... I think we lead off on DRC here. It's the one without haste, obviously. Up against the Merfolks. Got it. Feel like we want a bunch of Doom Blades. Just thinking. Yeah, sure. Alright, so Merfolk. Harbinger the Sea of the Tides. Nope. Harbinger of the Sea. Harbinger of the Seas. Merfolk. There aren't too many activated abilities. I mean, they have Rishadan, but they're just whatever. I think both decks have an okay matchup against Merfolk, but yeah, they actually let off on 2 basics Faz. It's kind of it's really weird because they have like 8 to 10 islands, some MDFCs, caverns, and mutavaults. Their Harbinger turns turns non-basics into islands. Their so Blood Moon theoretically could be okay against them. Pick Your Poison has narrow things against Ether Vial, Meltdown, same thing. I honestly think it's just submit our opening 60. And make sure we fetch as many basic mountains as possible. So sand is fine. Let's see if they leave on Ether Vial. Nope, they're still in Dockhand. Actually, Lava Dart might be a bit questionable. Don't think I'm particularly interested in DRC right now. I'm gonna go ahead and main phase this. Yeah, only against Dockhand. Most of their deck doesn't have activated abilities. Once again, making sure we prioritize basic mountains here. It's not the worst one to find. Yeah, I'm fine with Slick Shot. Yeah, I suppose they don't run Hexcatcher anymore. They run Dockhand and Voldaren Hexcatcher. Okay. That would make more sense then. I was thinking they don't run Curse Catcher, but they do run Voldaren Hexcatcher. And this is why I said I don't know if Blood Moon is like reasonable against them or not, simply because they play these ridiculous things. Subtlety, subtlety, does whatever a subtlety does. They might have Flare Denial or Force of Negation here, so we may well be leaving Amped Raptor back. I'm going to leave Amped Raptor back either which way, just because I think forcing them to have another Lord to attack. Maybe we're just supposed to push the damage, I'm not sure. They have the Lord of Atlantis anyway. Okay, one hits us for 2. It's unblockable only if they have a Lord, Foz. I wasn't sure if they had another unblockable Lord or not. Trickster, that's a good one to know about. Okay, that'd be plus 4, 5, plus 5. Opponent decided to block with their face. More power to them. Alright, so yeah, I understand it's unblockable if they have a Lord. So I probably should have punched in for the extra 2 damage. Not going to deny that. So we went 2-3. Should have been 3-2, but I punted against Yawgmoth. We lost to Yawg, Boros midrange, and what on earth was the other match? Oh, against Gruul Prowess. No, it does not have Island Walk naturally. It's only when one of the 2 lords are in play. One of the 2 Island Walk lords. Master of the Pearl Trident or Lord of Atlantis. It's a 1/2 Rishodon Dockport, basically. So, kind of dumpstered Merfolk. Should have beaten Yawg, and we beat Mono Black, mid-range, whatever. Lost to a Flage mid-range pile. That part doesn't surprise me. I think those are going to be Prowess' probably trickiest matchups in the format right now. And losing a pseudo-mirror match, kind of whatever. I haven't played enough of those matchups. But yeah, definitely got to pay more attention to lethal lines that I have access to instead of trying to kill my opponent's Shouldered. It's one of the problems I run into sometimes is I do get tunnel vision and just see, oh, I need to get this off the battlefield. Despite the fact I knew from a Mishra's Wobble that my opponent had a way to get it back. So, should have just looked for the lethal line. But could have been 3-2 in a modern normal league, not a friendly league. So, we played against some tier stuff. We didn't run against Nadu, so don't know if Harsh Mentor is really that good against Yawgmoth. Maybe it's just really good against Nadu. Like, it's okay against Yawg itself, but a lot of the other stuff is mana abilities, so it doesn't really deal a ton of damage there. So, may have to rethink Harsh Mentor against Yawg. But other than that, pretty solid league overall. Thanks for everybody hanging out today, whether it's been Foz, Augie, Cabs Kit, Cabs Kind, Janshvik was in earlier, etc. Modern Enjoyer, etc. So, yeah, Augie, that's one of the things, about learning a deck is you really have to pay attention to the lines and understand what's important. So, but yeah, well, thank everybody for hanging out. Apologize for the couple weeks break, but hopefully we'll be back to our normal streaming schedule. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe over here on YouTube, and give us a follow over on Twitch. And hope to see you next week's stream.